Hello and welcome back to Dude, Where's My Social Media, presented by the Professional Podcast Network. Today with us is Jason Phillips. Jason on the other side of the camera, usually our camera guy, but now you are the talent, so welcome.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
Warm on this side, yes, exactly. Yeah. So we want to talk about a couple of things here, and as Jason's been filming, he's constantly coming up with a lot of ideas, and now I guess all of the stuff we've been talking about on this side has been soaking in a little bit.
I'm feeling inspired nowadays.
Exactly. So now tell us, let's jump right into it, man. Let's talk a little bit about this iPad. Everyone's talking about iPad. Yeah. What did you hear about the iPad?
All right, this made me think of you when I first saw it a couple weeks back. I was watching WDXT over in Jacksonville, Channel 4. For the sake of disclosure, I did used to work there, so this isn't a rant against or a promotion for. It's just something I happened to notice and thought it'd be interesting to talk about. I was watching the 6 o'clock news one night, and one of their anchors promotes an iPad giveaway. Mm-hmm. We've started a revamped, relaunch Facebook page, I think it was, some sort of deal with the Facebook page. When we get 15,000 fans liking our page, we're going to reload. Whoever shows up in the number one spot underneath the fans who like wins an iPad. So I think my first inclination was, does traditional media understand how to use social media to promote their product, or is this just a cheap radio style stunt?
Right.
Shouldn't they be growing their page on its own with content, or is this a valid thing? Since there really aren't no rules on how you use social media to promote your traditional outlet.
Right.
So, I think we had a little bit of a chat about that a while ago. Yeah. Your take was?
Well, my take, you said something interesting there, which is do they do this on their own?
Yeah.
Via just the Facebook grassroots grow on Facebook, or do they leverage their live news show? And what I would say is you want to avoid silos. Silos. Not solos. Solo cups are good when you're playing beer pong. What I would say avoiding is
solos
silos.
Are good on guitar,
exactly.
too.
So silos. The silo effect of the accounting department does not speak with the engineering department, does not speak with the finance department.
So you've worked in television before. You seem to have this figured out.
No, I'm just guessing. Just guessing.
Yeah, that's pretty typical of any large work environment, I think.
But so that's refreshing that they are doing that. So what I mean by that is, hey, you have this great asset there, which is you are on live television reaching out to a lot of different people on a daily basis. Yeah. Why not leverage that to promote something else? More simpler ways that I see that are, when I talk to clients about launching a fan page, I say, here's what you do. Launch the fan page, but then you better also be putting an icon on your website. Mm-hmm. You also better be putting an email signature icon in your email, so every email that you send out has that icon for the Facebook fan page.
Keep reminding them about it.
You should have a sign somewhere in your brick and mortar. You should put it on your business card. You should connect all the pieces. These should not be silos. They should all be connected. Right. So from that perspective, I certainly agree with what they did, which is promote the contest on different media platforms.
All right. I guess the question I'd have to ask too is price of an iPad, depending on what you get, is between $500 and $700.
Yeah.
So could that be considered just a small, worthy investment to, maybe bump up your, not bump up your numbers, but draw people to your page?
Yeah. Okay. And let's look at this numbers wise. $600. $600 you're spending for an iPad, and actually it was 50,000, right?
15,000.
Yeah. Okay. So they got over 15,000, right? Did they reach the 15,000 mark?
Okay. They reached that about maybe a week ago as of this tape.
Okay. So they got 15,000 fans. So what you have to figure is $600 worth 15,000 fans. They've actually done studies, and they said that average every Facebook fan is worth about $1.50. $1.50 per fan. Can we do some math on that? That's over $15,000. It's about 20,000. Over $20,000, whatever it is the return statistically on that giveaway that they did. So without a doubt, it absolutely was worth it. It was a great success for them if you're looking at it like that. Because as opposed to just grabbing someone's email address, grabbing someone's Facebook account information is so much more valuable. Having them join your fan page, it's such another level of user engagement. Because remember, there is no spam filter on Facebook. They can hide you if they want to, but by default there is no spam filter, whereas with email, a lot of the stuff goes into spam. A lot of the stuff is easily ignored, but it's much more difficult. It's like in the news feed, you're already viewing a part of the message as well. So you're viewing the subject and the message. In Outlook or in your email client, you're usually just seeing the subject line. You're not seeing the whole message. So you get a lot more information out to them before they can choose to ignore it. So Yeah, I definitely think that was great by them. I think that was a good job. Now we'll see what they do with that.
Yeah.
We'll see what the next step
See
is.
if they do another one.
Yeah.
Because I guess it does bring a little bit, like, we were talking about earlier, virality.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because I guess it's also a thing, hey, WJT is giving away an iPad, all you got to do is click like.
Mm-hmm.
One person tells 2 people, tells, 10 people or whatever.
Yep. Now here's the thing about constructing those contests. The only opinion I would have in the negative on what they did was reach 15,000 fans, one of you gets a free iPad, right? If I'm one of those 15,000 fans, I want it to reach 15,000 so that the contest becomes, active.
Right.
But I don't want to go anywhere over 15,000. Ideally, I'd like to be exactly 15,000 so I have the best chance possible of winning that iPad. So as far as making it a truly viral thing, it's not going to be truly viral because everyone is not motivated to make it as big as possible. So everyone's not motivated to invite their friends to leave status updates, but they want to get to that point.
So you're saying there's kind of a self-imposed cap
Yeah.
as opposed to true virality.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that, I'm saying it's a good contest they ran, but I'm saying if there was a way to construct the contest in a way that made it where everyone would naturally want to invite all of their friends to join the page as well, then that would be even more valuable. But that being said, they definitely hit what they needed to hit, so it was a success. Now, you also brought up something interesting as well, which is what CNN's doing with Facebook. Now, to preface this, Facebook recently at the FA conference, they came out with the like feature. You probably noticed it. You no longer fan a page, you like a page. Now, this can also be integrated. The user experience is both on Facebook, so I can go to a fan page, I can click like, but I can also go to an external website and click like. You've probably seen these like buttons popping up all around the internet. So you can simply click like, and what that does, it links your Facebook profile to the page that you clicked like. So if I click like on an article, it will automatically post that in my newsfeed to my friends. Now, with that being said, what's CNN doing?
If you go directly to CNN.com, you will see a feature over on the right side of the page. It will tell, like what some of their popular stories are, how many people have shared it. If you or any of your Facebook friends have shared anything recently, it will actually show, Rob Castellucci shared, such and such with, X amount of friends, I think. So that's kind of a cool way to show just some of the activity. But if you click on a link, look at a story, for their reader comments, which is kind of a sore spot with me on some web pages, especially on newspaper web pages, because they come out for sure on the reader comments. But they've started using actual Facebook. Like you make a comment on a story, you'll actually see your Facebook profile picture and name will show up, and you can message everybody or what else. So they've got that. And another one I thought was pretty neat was it's kind of the same thing where you can, embedded in the story, you can share from there. It'll show you if you did share it or if somebody else you knew shared the story.
Right.
Kind of show you, how it's getting, tracking around the internet. So I thought that's kind of a neat feature.
Yeah, they almost one-upped Twitter in a lot of ways, which is in Twitter, you'll see usually on a lot of articles that you read, it'll say 88 people tweeted this. And Facebook did that. It says 88 people like this page. But they've one-upped them by saying 88 people like this page and 3 of your friends are part of those 88 people.
Yeah.
So it's that validation from your social circle. It's people saying, yes, I like this. It's going to put it on your radar more. It's basically customizing the internet when you think about it.
It's opened up a kind of a new level of interactivity, whereas before you just read the news, now you can get a little more active with sharing it, see who else may be interested with the same issues as you are. So that's kind of I think is a pretty cool and pretty promising development.
Absolutely.
And in a way, too, they can see that and track that as feedback. Here's the stories that are really grabbing people right now. Maybe this type of entertainment story doesn't fly. Who knows? So it's kind of a cool way to see what's demographics and interests.
And keeping the small business owners in mind that may be watching this, it's a simple line of code. So if you have a website right now and you do not have a like button integrated into every page on your website, you should do that. It's a simple line of code. Your web developer can easily implement it, and then you can cash in on that virality. If you have really interesting content on your website, it's going to be shared. So, well, that's great. That being said, I think that'll do it for today.
Yeah.
So great stuff on the iPad giveaway. Really great. And the takeaway once again for that is if you're a small business owner, you have a fan page, run some contests. You know, do some giveaways. Do some things to spark some interest. Take a little bit of an investment. You know, take a little bit of a risk on your fan page.
Because I didn't think to ask that. Well,
Yeah.
you know, until we were actually in the talk. It's like, well, you know,
Yeah.
that thing's, you know, roughly, you know, $500 to $700.
Yeah.
How much is each person worth, and what, you know, what kind of return do you get on your investment? Well,
Yeah.
so that's, you know, that's an interesting way to look at it. You know,
And you know, once we get a sponsor, we will definitely do some giveaways as well. So I would love to do an iPad giveaway.
Okay.
Maybe that'll be the goal.
yeah. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Real quick before we go,
Yeah.
as an example, if you start out small with a podcast, you're not a TV organization, but you're, you know, internet talent, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
You know, all the way to becoming the next Kevin Rose. Okay, say you went out and bought an iPad. You're doing your own giveaway. How many friends would you set as a goal to get your return on investment? And
If I'm doing my own iPad giveaway,
Yeah.
on this page.
yeah.
right here.
If you were to do it, what would you set your goal? You know, reach 2,000 friends, 5,000. What would it make to make it worth your while?
Now you have to think about.
So I guess
that
that's something anybody else would need
Yeah.
to think about. Do I copy what they did, or do I maybe dumb it down to you know,
Yeah.
iPhone? Or
Yeah. Well, I'll say that definitely the TV station would have a bit of an advantage because they have that preset audience to distribute
exactly.
it out to. So I probably wouldn't put it at 15,000. I'd put it at a reasonable, like. Actually, you know, I'd be happy with, as a starter, you figure the math. Really, anything over 600, 500 fans would be a success in terms of
investing $1
Facebook value
per person.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would probably shoot for 1,000. 1,000 is what you see for a lot of these fan pages, what they try to set it at. You know, so I'd say 1,000 is a good starter,
Cool.
which is close. You know, so if we get that sponsor, we'll definitely do an iPad, iPhone, some kind of Apple giveaway. Not the 4G, since that thing's a piece of junk, but anything else Apple will definitely do a giveaway. That being said, definitely check out our Facebook fan page, facebook.com/dudesocialmedia, and stay tuned for future podcasts.
And thanks for watching us on the Professional Podcast Network.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
May run into